everyone. My name is Fatima, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Misha, and this is the Hold the Past podcast, which is a new motorsport-based podcast where we talk about all things motorsport, history, tech, and everything else in between.
That's right. We are a podcast focused all about learning from each other, learning from our guests. I know that I suck at remembering stuff about history, so Fatima is a fantastic storyteller, so she's going to teach me all about the history of motorsports. And I really like science and yapping about it all the time, so she gets to be subjected to my rants about the technical side of things.
Rant away, Misha.
We're both really passionate about learning, and we thought the best way to learn would be from each other, because what's better than a chat among friends? And joining us on that journey are some amazing guests that we'll give you more info about later. But before we get into that, let me tell you all about Fatima and why she is the reason you should listen to this podcast. She is 29 years old, lives in Canada, and fell in love with motorsports about 4 years ago. And she's been in the motorsport content creator space for well over 3 years. Her love of fast cars stems from a childhood obsession with Fast and Furious, which how can you not love that series? And she's a big fan of sports overall, from basketball to watching games with her sisters and her family, soccer, and eventually stumbled into the space we're all in, which is Formula One. And in the F1 space, she has carved out a place for herself with her blog, The Race Edit, which has turned into a podcast, turned into a YouTube channel, and now she's doing content creation and making some amazing storytelling videos. So if you're into the history of motorsports, check out her channel, but also stay tuned for our amazing episodes where she's going to break down some really cool stories. She's also heavily involved in the motorsport space, volunteering at the Toronto Honda Indy last year, holding amazing fan events like the Pit Stop and Chat last year, which I went to, and it was so much fun. I think that's where we first bonded, actually. And her dream race is to attend the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which is really interesting considering an episode we have coming up.
Also, I think we should just go to the 24-hour Le Mans together.
Honestly, why not? It would be amazing. It would be so fun. Also, the Goodwood Festival of Speed. I know you want to go to that one.
So bad.
So bad. So let me tell you, Fatima is really good at storytelling because she's really good at research, because she studied a bunch of amazing things like childhood and youth studies and paralegal studies, which, like, having the capacity to remember everything you need to remember in paralegal, I could not do it. So you know that when she tells a story, it is well researched, it is backed up by facts, and it's going to be told in a way that is really fun and accessible to everyone. And one more fun fact about her, she's got a food blog. Like, what doesn't she do? That's Fatima. She's so cool, and she's the reason why you need to listen to this podcast.
Misha, you are too kind. Thank you. I don't even know how I can top that. Misha absolutely killed that. And I'm like, oh boy, how do I say kind words about one of my most favorite people in the entire world in just like a short 30-second spiel? I don't know, but Misha did that. So now that Misha's told you all about me, let me tell you a little bit about Misha. Misha has loved sports and studied science from an early age and has finally merged the two worlds through motorsport and Formula One. Misha is 34 years old and lives in Canada, and most of Misha's career has been in science and education, ranging from scientific writing to teaching English. That's just a lot. Shout out to Misha. But despite the many turns in Misha's career, Misha's passion has stayed constant with sport. Misha has grown up watching basketball, volleyball, water polo, all the sports with their family, and that has stayed with them until now, until this very moment, just with a slightly different roster of sports, which is Formula One, more specifically after watching the Canadian Grand Prix a few years ago. And like all of us, Misha quickly fell in love with the technical and engineering side of the sport, which thank gosh, because I'm really bad at that. So shout out to Misha for being here to help me. And from there, Misha has drove deep into the world of Formula One, starting with a Formula One blog and also doing motorsport content creation. And you know Misha as that person that did the video about pit stop saving babies. And that video got over 1 million views, by the way. Let's just say yay, because wow, that is amazing. Misha, you should be so proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Since last year, Misha has been covering Formula One as a journalist for Fan Amp, and now we finally teamed up to do this podcast, which is honestly something that we've been talking about doing for ages. And finally, we're doing it, and we're so happy to have you guys on this journey with us.
Yay.
And fun fact, like we said earlier, or like I said earlier, Misha loves watching sports, but I'm not that great at doing them. And you know what? Neither am I. I cannot kick a soccer ball to save my life. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah.
And you know, the only sport Misha's done is archery, which is crazy because I used to think I was good at archery. I'm not, but I did it in like summer camp back in the day, and I was like, I'm great at archery. But yeah, so the only sport Misha has done is archery, standard and Japanese traditional, also known as Kyoto. Did I pronounce that right, Misha?
Kyoto, but it's okay.
Kyoto. See, this is why we have Misha on the pod. And that's just a little bit about Misha. There's so much more to know about Misha that I'm going to be so happy to uncover throughout our journey as podcast co-hosts. And I hope that you guys all stick with us throughout this journey as well. Because like Misha said in the beginning, what's better than friends telling stories? Is that what you said, Misha?
Yeah.
That's what Misha said. You know? And we're just going to be telling each other stories, learning from our guests like Misha said. And we do have some amazing episodes lined up. Some one-on-one chats with just the two of us so you can get to know us and so we can get to tell you guys stories about the technical and the historical side of things, and also some with some cool guests, such as a motorsport podcast producer, a fantabulous content creator, and a Canadian racing Hall of Famer, just to name a few.
So if you are excited to follow along this journey with us, learn from us and our guests, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, including Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make sure to give us all the likes, all the shares, send it to your best friend, send it to your family, send it to your brother's best friend's cousin. I don't care. Just make sure to get the world all over the world. Make sure to get the word out and stay tuned. All of the information about where you can find us will be in the description below or to the side or wherever you are listening to / watching this. And stay tuned for the very first episode of the Hold the Pass podcast dropping next week.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. And happy Formula One week! We're back, baby!
Happy Formula One week! Let's go! And stay tuned for the very first official episode of the Hold the Pod. I knew it was gonna happen as soon as I opened my mouth!